Alright, so let's just get straight into this video. Today we are going to talk about the dreaded brain zap. So for those of you that are new to the channel, let me just give you a little backstory real quick. I started taking antidepressants, Lexapro specifically, back in July of last year, and I just stopped taking them a week ago. That pretty much catches you up. So look, I weaned off a little quicker than I probably was supposed to. It took me a month and a week to wean when it should have taken me probably 2.5 to 3 months. So I was a little quick about it. But anyway, brain zaps. I fucking hate brain zaps. Brain zaps are fucking pointless. They don't hurt you. They don't help you. They're just annoying and they're there. Alright, so I'm going to try to describe to you a little bit about what brain zaps feel like for me. Alright, so my first experience with brain zaps would be just a few days into when I started taking antidepressants, an SSRI, Lexapro. So what happened? I wake up in the middle of the night. There's no precursor. There's no forewarning. I go to sleep, and then I just wake up in the middle of the night having brain zaps. And fortunately, I looked a little bit into, like side effects of starting the medication, side effects of withdrawal. But nonetheless, I educated myself a little bit on side effects. I knew that there were certain things to expect. So when I started having brain zaps, I pretty much knew what they were in that moment. I didn't have a whole lot of anxiety about it because I expected it. So it didn't freak me out, didn't scare me. But I imagine for a lot of you, maybe the reason why you decided to click on this video is because it is kind of freaking you out. But rest assured, once again, brain zaps are pretty much just these meaningless, annoying things that happen due to the chemistry in your brain. And they're not fun, but they're not going to kill you. So my first experience, I wake up, it's, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't looking at the clock. I was too worried about these little electrical impulses that were going through my body. And basically what these brain zaps felt like for me is that they kind of started in the back of my head and went down into my neck. And then on the top side of my arms, going all the way down, pretty much just falling short of my fingers. And it was just, the way they felt was just kind of this very quick, it's almost like your brain decides to just quickly light up. Imagine like turning on the electrical current to a light bulb. You flick the switch and just this immediate bright flash. And that electrical current that went through to make that happen, that's essentially what brain zaps felt like to me the first time I had them. It was as if somebody had flicked a switch in my brain and there was just this immediate, bah! I guess that's, I don't know how to describe it. I was having multiple brain zaps, as most of you that are having them already know this. There's multiples, but they're not like instant. It doesn't just like keep happening over and over and over again. You'll get one, and then maybe a few seconds passes, a minute passes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you'll just have another one. But here's something that I really want you to pay attention to and see if this is the way it works for you. See, one of the things that I'm really anxious about is basically an inability to breathe or suffocating from the inside of my body. Not like someone putting a pillow over my face. Do that, I don't care, whatever. But I get real anxious when it comes to breathing, and I'm very breathing aware. So, and of course, waking up in the middle of the night with brain zaps creates anxiety. So what would happen is I would take a deep breath, and that's when it would trigger one of these brain zaps to happen. So, I tried to keep my breathing stabilized as I'm sitting there trying to sleep. But obviously, again, with the anxiety of having those in the middle of the night and knowing I have to be awake the next morning, I couldn't really control the fact that every few breaths, I would just need to take a deep breath in. Because I was real tight, short of breath, and just every single time that I took a deep breath in, brain would zap. So it seems to me that there may be a correlation between brain zaps and things that trigger quick emotion or quick anxiety, because something that I was so nervous about, it just immediately would trigger these brain zaps. So pay attention to yours if you're having them, or next time you have them, which hopefully is never, and see if like a doorbell ringing triggers a brain zap, or whatever bothers you. If it's OCD, if you look at the floor and you realize that something's out of place or something's not quite right, I don't want to feed into your OCD. I know that's a problem that really sucks. But if that's when you notice that a brain zap all of a sudden happens, then that will just help us try to figure out exactly if that's what's causing them. And maybe there's a way that, doctors and science can come up with a way for us to stop having brain zaps if they can figure out that, hey, it is because of an instantaneous, a trigger, that sends the chemicals through your brain a certain way and causes you to, causes one of your anxious moments, and then you have a brain zap. So I just got home from work. I wasn't really ready to make this video. I don't know if the lighting's right. I really don't care. I'm so agitated right now because I've been having these for, this is my 4th or 5th day of having brain zaps. And this is, of course, after I had just quit Lexapro and now I'm on to whatever withdrawal symptoms I'm going to have because I made a mistake of cutting back and weaning down a little too quick. So now when I'm having them, they don't necessarily feel like they're starting in my brain. The brain zaps that I'm having now, they almost feel like they originate in my chin. And it seems like if I get up real fast, from a prone position or a sitting position as I am now, or if I have to look really far, to the left, it doesn't so much happen when I'm looking to my right, but when I look to my left, or if I take my eyes and I just look to the left, it's just triggering that instantaneous, I don't even know what you would call it. Have you ever been punched in the face? I don't know why I asked you like you can answer me. Let's just assume that you have been. And assume that somebody hits you in the jaw, and that can, if somebody hits you in the jaw and your jaw collapses back quickly enough, it can catch a nerve. That's why a lot of people end up getting knocked out, because that nerve gets pinched and it's just an instantaneous cut off to your brain. You fall and black out. And that's how people get knocked out. Well, that's kind of what my brain zaps feel like. But instead of making me feel like I'm going to pass out, because the dizziness is taking care of that, it's just, again, one of those just quick instant light ups. And I'm feeling it in my jaw, and it feels like it's going around my collarbone and maybe a little bit to my shoulders. Maybe a little bit in the chest as well, but it's just that real quick, again, electrical impulse that just feels like it fires through real quick and then it just stops. That's all I really know to say about brain zaps. They do just feel like a quick electrical current, and they don't even last a second. It's just it's so quick. It's almost just like, again, like I said, just a flash. And then it's just pretty much gone. Anyway, guys, I mean, if you're having them, they're going to go away. Don't worry too much about them. Maybe even find a way to accept them or have fun with them. And that's a hard concept for a lot of people. But I did have a very positive experience out of taking Lexapro, and was really able to sift through a lot of the thoughts that I was having. And certain things just don't make me as anxious as they used to. Again, if you follow this channel, you know that a lot of my anxiety was based around health. I have horrible health anxiety. I always thought I had cancer or a weird disease or something wrong in my lungs or, like heart failure. And of course, that's just the chest pains that come along with having, number one, costochondritis, but also with anxiety itself. So, I mean, chest pain, it freaked me out, made me think I was going to die, I was going to pass out. The anxious symptoms piled on top of that made things just a whole lot worse. And I'm really able to process through those thoughts now, and those things don't scare me as much as they once did. And that's kind of what I'm trying to instill into you. Basically, what I'm telling you is just, don't be afraid if you're having brain zaps. Find a way to accept them, because, one day they're going to be gone. And you're going to forget that you ever had them. So I hadn't posted a video in almost 2 weeks. And this is kind of the reason why. Because I've spent every day dizzy, a little nauseous, and then, of course, having these brain zaps because I'm still going through the withdrawal effects of having taken an SSRI. All right, I should totally shut up now and let you guys go on with your day. That's assuming that you even made it this far in the video and anybody's watching this at all right now. But if you are, I definitely appreciate that you made it this far into the video. Leave a comment down below and say, hey, I made it this far into your stupid video. Alright guys, go do something fun with the rest of your day. Or night. I don't know what time you're watching this video. Just go do something, be productive, be happy, and I'll see you in the next video.